You gonna stream? That's just a black screen, mate. I can't see a black screen. There we go, finally. Right. You're not gonna fuck up, are you? No, good. Okay, so basically, long story short, yeah, I've been busy with my dissertation with the fucking whatever, proving that France lost World War II, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Got one of the chapters done, yada yada yada, and there we go. And long story short, I'm gonna react to this 5-minute video. It's not gonna take too much of my time, so there we fucking go. Don't interpret it as that basically that I'm spending my time doing fucking videos now, because I'm not. And this message is not for my subscribers, it's for that fucking fat Englishman there, who's probably watching this right now. Well, not at this exact point in time, but who's probably going to click on it and be like, ha ha ha, go fuck yourself. Anyway, moving on. Right. I haven't watched this video, even though it says I have watched it. I like watched the first like 5 seconds. I knew about that Doujingod was making this video. I knew it months ago, and it was actually quite hilarious. Because it was when I had the meeting with Carriacon and whatnot, Gabriel. And what happened was that I spoke to Gabriel. No, it was Dojin sent me the script, and I was laughing so hard over the script that I basically had to. That my flatmate told me to shut the fuck up because it was just too hilarious to read through. But basically, this was my reaction and also some other points. I asked Dojin to upload it on a day when I could do it, but unfortunately, Dojin clearly didn't. Carriacon didn't go to plan, obviously. There was tech issues and there's stuff going on, and everyone's going to say, oh, I see what's going on with the Froggy. I'm sorting the Froggy out, okay? I'm going to deal with them. Basically, turns out, to deal with the Froggy, all you got to do is just be like, oh, you want to sort it out? Now, okay, right, Nick. You know, so that's how you deal with it, okay? Because it gives me 100% justification, but obviously that's kind of I don't give a fuck. Okay, anyway. So, yeah. Let's go.
Come with us on a night of
Oh, you fucking cunt.
The Admiralty podcast. At first, it seems like your ordinary group project, but with every group project, usually only one person actually works, and the rest are there just for moral support.
I am not there for moral support. I finance the fucking podcast, alright? And I deal with the guests and the fucking... I'm the one dealing with the Carriacon shit. That was all me, okay?
If you're gonna do that, at least remove the letter M from it. But before I go in depth why I hate my own podcast, let's talk about...
I love the fact that he's using that picture that we got. That's where we've had to put it that size, because if we put it any closer, the logo, it'll be pixelated as fuck. Yeah, like if you notice, it's like really quality. It's really pixel. No, it's just quality. I don't know. Anyway, let's put it to 1080p. Oh no, never mind. He used the right one.
Harry started first. Okay. TLDR, I met OC, we started beefing what unicorn is, and then I met Animarchy. Now before I met them, these two already had a plan to start a podcast with another person. That another person being Niklaso. Yes, I was Niklaso's stand-in.
No, you weren't. Okay, let me just give a bit of the lore behind that. So, what occurred was that, it was during a stream one time. Fucking no, it was a stream during Azalane. I think it was just prior to the content nuke. And what happened was that, obviously, I was friends with, Niklaso for like a good solid year at this point. So, you know, Niklaso usually stops by my streams and say hello and we chat and banter. But anyway. But Animarchy came to this one, and this is when Animarchy sort of kind of popped off, and he had like 5,000 subs, I believe. And what happened was, because he was doing his ship series, wasn't he? So obviously, see Gangsta. So I think I was the first Azalane CC to contact him. And what happened was that he turned up on the stream. I was like, yo, you wanna go into the VC? And then so obviously me and him VC and Niklaso VC. Then basically, I could tell Animarchy wanted to do a podcast, and Jesus Christ, he spoke for like 3 hours. It was like one of the longest Azalane streams I ever did, because he just kept talking Animarchy. And I was just like, oh, please let me go, you know. And but the issue is that, you know, Niklaso, he basically wanted to quit YouTube. That was why. That's what it was, or moving to. He didn't like Azalane, and so yeah, he basically Basically, I said to Animarchy, nah, when I'm doing the podcast. put it to bed. And then out of the blue came this other guy, and yeah, so it wasn't a case of that we originally, like, we went in the class, and we're like, hey, you want to be in a podcast? He goes, no. And then, like, we go, okay, right, who's on the list? Oh, we'll just take this Trojan guy. It was something that basically just happened. I just pitched it to Doji, and Doji was like, okay. And then, yeah, and then I was like, hey, Anarchy, you want to do that podcast? Okay. And then there we go. Because Anarchy, he doesn't turn down a podcast. He's like on, what, 20 of them now. So, you know.
Anyways, after that, it was time to create the basic. And after being in call with them for about 30 minutes, it was clear to me that both of them did not want to be in charge. So,
yeah, just keep going.
I took the lead and asked for names for the channel. I came up with Dockyards, Animarchy came with the obvious name, Admiralty Podcast, and OC came with History Barons.
I didn't come up with History Barons, okay, but I think he's saying it because the other names I came up with were so shit. It was actually funny, the name process for it was that we need a name. So I was like, Splish Splash Podcast. And like, Dojin was like, you know, and then we were thinking really hard, complex names. And then it was just like, well, what about this Arknights podcast? We looked at it. What's it called? Rate Up. Why is it called Rate Up? Because it's a system in the game. Limit Break Podcast. The Bullen Podcast. And then, obviously, we thought, right, what's the easy... And then it was Dockyards, Doji, and I was like, shit, that could work. And what happened was that I went to Animarchy. I was like, yeah, which of these names work best? And Animarchy said Dockyard. I was like, okay. And then that's what it was going to be. An alternative universe, that was it. That was a conversation. I fucked off. And we are called the Dockyard Podcast. But then I decided, well, I said to Animarchy, well, do you actually, like, have any ideas? And he was like, History Barons, the Warlords, I think. And then he said, the Admiralty. And I was like, shit, that could work. And it does work. It works amazing because it's perfect. It's perfect. It's nothing wrong with it.
History Dons. Arzul Pod. As a person who was in charge of the whole podcast, I immediately rejected everything OC gave for the name suggestion. Obviously, Animarchy's won by with like 100 votes. Might be.
Yeah, we voted it.
The only thing he's contributed. Then.
By being the only thing he contributed. Anyway, moving on.
The logo. This was probably the only time I let OC cook, and boy did he deliver. Except that his request for the logo was to use 2 boats and an anchor. I am not even joking.
Hey, that was a good logo. I drew the original logo somewhere. It's here somewhere. But it was going to be sort of like it was going to be an anchor, and you have one side you have like a battleship coming out of the anchor, and the other side you've got an aircraft carrier coming out of the anchor. And that's what it was going to be, but obviously, yeah.
As a graphic designer myself, I wrote a whole word essay for O5 guy and simplified whatever used 2 boats and an anchor meant. Like seriously, this guy has no idea what he's doing. And the final part, channel creation. Guess who did that?
Dojin!
It was me.
Alright, the reason why Dojin created it is he just literally came to me one day. He was like, I'm making a podcast. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, I'm making it. I'm like, okay. And he's just there making the account and everything like, I'm making it. I was like, okay. I made the first video though, so I've got that flex. Even though it's been deleted because it was, yeah.
I tried asking whether those 2 can create the channel while the logo is being made. One did not even give me an answer. And one just said, I don't know how to. Just say that you're lazy, you Scottish wank. Episode schedule. Now all of us agreed that once a week would be the perfect upload schedule.
She just dabbed.
And we'd switch from Saturday uploads to Sunday once in a while. What caused a huge problem was the episodes themselves. So I suggested that we do episode 0 first.
I was against the idea of episode 0.
To test things out like audios or graphic, and you would not believe what they told me. I quote, "It's not necessary." Really, bitch? Now obviously I got them to do the episode 0. And guess what?
There was issues.
I was right. All audio was ass.
It's not so much as I didn't want an episode 0. It was that I didn't want episode 0 to... I wanted it to be like a Patreon only thing. That's what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be a Patreon only thing, but obviously, you know.
and we did not have any graphics. But don't worry guys, this episode was clearly not needed. Anyways,
It wasn't needed. It wasn't needed on the channel. It could have been put anywhere else. Except the channel. Damn, the anime was so good. So was the new Kantai collection one. Hang on. Nice.
Fast forward few months, we are 9 episodes in. It seems like both Animaki and OC are enjoying this podcast thing. Me? Oh, you know, I sure was enjoying my time. I was totally not the only person to come up with episode ideas. Totally not the only.
Hold up. Okay. That's not necessarily true. The issue that we had was that we so fuck's sake. Got this as quick as possible. Right. So the issue that we had was that here were the video episodes. So basically, this was standard. Then we got our guest on for the 3rd episode because that's what we wanted. And then we did the Doujin episode that we wanted to do. And then the war movie episode. Now, I was expecting the war movie episode to do well. But the issue is that it didn't do well, as we can see, only 1k views. So we basically, I gave it to sort of Doujin. Now at this point, Doujin, when this was recorded, Doujin, yeah, this was the anime one. The issue that we had was that, firstly, Doujin, we sort of, if you watch the episode, Doujin hardly talks, and that's the issue. And then the other issue was that, you know, so if Doujin's like planning the future episodes and running the channel and whatnot. So when I basically told him, like, don't give up. I see potential, because I always see potential in the podcast. I always look on the bright side of it, you know. I'm the kind of guy for rocket, like, if I'm building a rocket, I shoot it up and it crashes, I'll be like, that's a fucking, we made improvement. It left the ground and it blew up. Woo! You know. I always view a bad situation as, well, what are the good we can get out of this situation? Okay, right. So with the podcast, Hawk Tuesday, it sent a realization that we need to fucking change our game. We need to actually change our shit. So we did the Hawk Tuesday episode. That was amazing. That was, if you watch it, the synergy is perfect in that video. Everyone gets the equal amount of speaking, because what I do is that, if you notice, sometimes I didn't do it the last episode, unfortunately, because I just was in a foul mood. I was the video we just recorded yesterday. I was in a foul mood. I was just not happy. I was just pissed off so much because of stuff that's been going on, and also I've been tired and sick of my dissertation. And so what happened was that I usually what I'll do is I'll try and cut off Animaki to let Doujin talk. But anyway, but then after that, I basically said to Doujin, right, do it till the end of the year, then I'll edit the videos, because he was on video editing duty. And then what happened was that, you know, the Drac episode, yeah, that really showed us what we could do. And then, yeah, and then I went in charge, because basically Doujin was like, hey, I'm giving you charge of making thumbnails and whatnot. So then I produced these awful thumbnails. I produced these awful, and another issue that we had was that one of them got incredibly delayed. But it was delayed because I had no Wi-Fi, because my Wi-Fi went down in Salford. And basically Doujin's response to every time was, I can't download the episode, is not my problem. That was the issue. I was basically, Doujin could have just downloaded the episode from the editor, put it on YouTube, and I would have handled the rest. But the problem was, I physically could not download the episode. I physically couldn't, because my Wi-Fi was just, nah. And it's still down, my Wi-Fi, which is annoying. Obviously not here, because, you know. And yeah, I mean, look at the Adder episode. That was incredibly well received. So yeah, anyway, moving on.
Person to make the thumbnails and titles, and totally not the only person to render these videos for a minimum of 4 hours. Oh wait, I did all of those, thankfully.
Yes, you did, but you're gonna say next point.
Though we've hired an editor after episode 11, so everything's good for that part.
Right, who the fuck pays the editor? Who got the editor onto the project? Mwah! I got the editor onto the project. It was actually funny that the editor, like, didn't send me a professional business. They just sent me, like, yo, do you want me to edit your videos? I was like, I was going to say no, and then I was like, shit, we got the podcast. Yeah, sure. And then that's that, you know. So there we go.
But it's still the same story. However, you can hear how...
Well, it sort of is the same story, but it's sort of... I mean, yeah, obviously with the episodes now, we don't really know what to do. The issue is that we were going to do the OnlyFans episode, guest episode. And then there was also delays. We were supposed to get the Idol Girl episode done before April. But obviously we haven't got it done. That was a guest episode. We were supposed to do OnlyFans guest episode. The issue, it was CarryCon. It sort of had a knock-on effect. We basically sort of went prepared around CarryCon. Well, oh, we've got to prepare all the episodes around CarryCon. Only for obviously CarryCon to not work. And so, yeah. And so what happened was that with us is that we... trying to figure out... it had a knock-on effect. Pushed the episodes back. I tried to get the OnlyFans episode working. That didn't work because surprisingly the guest said no, and I was like, bruh. I was like, wait, what? We tried to get Laserpig on. I didn't get a response from Laserpig. I said to Anarchy, try and get Laserpig for us because you're on a podcast with him, and he was like, good day, mate. I'm gonna fight a kangaroo. Because asking Anarchy to do anything on the podcast is the equivalent of, he just turns up, records his lines, done. He's off. But then again, he's a busy guy. He's got a lot of subs. He's got a lot of videos to work on, so it's understandable. No. So, yeah. But I'm very good with getting the guests on. Anyway.
Oh, fed up with every new episode we upload. Because I was sitting there getting roasted for not having time to watch a 6...
Alright, hang on a sec. These episodes were when we actually started to do good. I actually thingied. I got roasted in the last episode so hard, and I just took it. But every time they fucking talk about football, you know, so I go quiet. Because I don't know shit about football. I don't give a shit about football. So, you know. Oh, no, they don't. They talk about history. Look, when you guys talk about football, I don't complain. I don't say, I can't. I just go, nah, whatever.
Hour-long movie. A tired me thought it
What do you mean, a 6-hour-long movie? That's a lie.
was a great idea to let OC be in charge of the podcast. It was a horrendous idea. Not only did he come up with stupid ideas like, hey, let's send a plastic boat model with a tracker in the ocean and see how far will it go. Fucking dumb. You absolute From episode...
Alright. The carrier, Hornet wanted to do that. Hornet was on board to do that. So, yeah, it wasn't planned yet. Okay, so there we go. You know.
12 to 17. Guess how many episodes did OC think of? 2. And the crazy thing is, he asked me how to title them.
Alright, hang on. I want to go back. Okay, yeah. I didn't know. The reason as to why is because I'm quite literal with my titles. Because it's like, what your favourite thing he says about you. I'm not going to fucking come up with a great clickbait title. Because I don't know. I'm just thinking. Really? I thought I came up with a work-life episode. I mean, did shit, so. I didn't come up with the VTuber episodes. The gaming was sort of like, oh, we got a naturally just do gaming. Halloween was obviously, oh, Halloween, the Christmas one, I came up with the Christmas one. That's argumentative, but I wanted it to be like a Christmas special. But obviously, for a start, we didn't record on time. Then my dad started like shifting around downstairs because he can't let me fucking record any podcast episodes. Like fucking, he's got to fucking keep fucking around with shit downstairs, and then he blames me and says that I've been sat upstairs all day. When in reality, if I plan to fucking record a podcast episode, it means that I basically plan to do a fucking podcast episode. Just let me do my fucking podcast episodes, then I can fucking go and help you move shit around, okay? You know, but yeah, and also I had Wi-Fi issues because ever since I came back from Salford, my computer's gone, when it comes to Wi-Fi. I had to try 3 times to get the stream working. So, yes. And also, I came up with the fucking... Did I come up with the Andrew episode? I did! Oh, yeah, obviously it wasn't planned yet, so yeah.
me how to title them. Of course, I didn't answer because I wanted to see how he'd do and if he'd remember what I told him about the title.
Also, another thing I want to point out, I don't have Photoshop. I edit my thumbnails all in Premiere Pro.
He remembered nothing. You know, enough of slandering my co-host. Let's talk about some positives about my co-host. First off, let's talk about Animaki. The first positive thing he came up with was the name. Moving on to OC Gangsta, obviously he struggles with titles and making thumbnails, but hey, at least he's good with getting guests on our podcast. And he actually hired the editor, so I can forgive.
Hired. I fucking pay his wages. My man is rolling in fucking bank cash because of me. You don't know how much fucking money I pumped into that fucking thing, okay? So that's why the podcast has to work, because if it doesn't, I'm fucked.
OC from all his ridiculous, and he actually tries. That's what I like. You know, it's a group project. Your ideas might be shit, but you know what? At least you tried. And I'm happy. The one person who doesn't try. And that's how far the podcast.
Oh my god, that was so. But Animaki is not going to see this video. Animaki probably won't see this. He won't see this video. Animaki will not see this video. He doesn't watch my videos anymore, so he most likely won't see this video. Someone's going to message him like, Animaki, you need to see this video. Did you do, mate? What are you saying? I don't try.
Has come. But the answer in short why I hate my own Australian podcast is because I hate working with OC and Annie. It's because we don't talk about Australian. Yes.
Yeah,
sorry, Mike.
That's one issue. We had one issue with the latest episode, is that we didn't know what the fuck we were doing, but it was because we were supposed to talk about Karaoke and stuff. And yeah, the other issue as well is that Doujin's very like, right. Doujin doesn't know that fucking this. He doesn't know that this is this. If I showed him this without the name, right, he doesn't know what the fuck it is. If I show him this, he'll be able to tell, but he cannot comprehend this and this going together. It doesn't make sense to him because it just doesn't work to him. So basically, and I did offer, I was like, Doujin, I will basically train you to recognize fucking what ships look like, okay? A bit like a reverse Drachnifel. Because the Animaki dragged on Drachnifel and basically, well, not drag, you know, he did his own video with him and he showed the ship guilds and he was like, oh, try and identify the ship. Okay, this is that ship. So, you know, it works. Yeah, but anyway, I need to go. I got work to do. That's been my reaction to the video. You can love me later, Doujin. Everyone's commenting. I knew that if I look at the thing, I'd keep whatever thingy in. I'd keep like blah 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 blah. I'd keep like going on a rant and going on to like hi there whoever comments. So you know, and you know I can't. I don't really have time. I've got like stuff to sort out. I got my dissertation. I got to prove why France lost World War II. So yeah. What do you mean corn off doesn't count as well? Cheeky cunt. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna end it right. I need a haircut, or even need to grow it longer. So next time you'll see me, guys. Is after I've done the dissertation. That's next time. And I got a frog to boil in fucking hot water.